Hey, what's up, guys? This is episode 2 of What Q Can't Do. So my sister thought she had me with this one, you know? She said, brother, hey, I got this new machine. So let me flip the camera around, let y'all check the machine out. This is, I guess a freeze dryer of some sort. This is a plug that goes to it. And you can see where I pushed the wire up from down here and went to the attic. The breaker panel is right here close by, which makes it nice. So we already got our wire ran upstairs in the attic from the plug, where the plug's gonna be over here, over to the breaker. So now we're gonna make our hole where we're gonna put our new plug on the wall, and then we'll move over to the panel side and be very careful as we work there. We're going to turn all the power off and from the main switch and get to work. Right, so we're up in the attic space. From downstairs, I pushed up a wire with a flag on it, and I see where it came up right there. So that'll tell me where I'm at from the bottom and where I need to drill my hole to, just gotta be careful. I'm up here, so we don't fall through the garage. All right, so I can see where the plug that's existing, the wire for it goes down there. And here's our flag from the bottom. So we're gonna drill another hole to feed our wire down through there. And I can see over on this side where all those bunch of wires goes down over there. That's where our breaker panel is. So we're gonna feed our wire from here to over there and down, and we're gonna get going with this and on to the next step. So we got our hole drilled here. We're gonna feed our wire down for the outlet. Then we're gonna run the other side of the wire over to the panel on that side. All right, so this is the side where the breaker panel is. You can see I had to drill another hole. I couldn't get the wire to fit with the other wires that are already going down. So we drilled another hole. We're gonna feed the wire down to the panel, and then we're gonna head downstairs. I got my cutout for where my new outlet's gonna go. We're gonna put our old work box in there. And if you didn't know, the reason they call it an old work box is because this construction's old. So this box is what you use when you already have existing finished drywall area. If it was open and just framed, you'd use a new work box, which attaches to the stud with nails. This, you see the hooks just go in, and once you tighten it up, tighten the screw, those two screws on the front, it locks in and pulls against the sheetrock and locks the box, this box, electrical box, in place. In case you guys didn't know. So, and what we were dreading is insulation in the hole, which makes it a little harder to feed our electrical wire that we already pushed down from the top, but of course I don't see it, so we're gonna have to try to push some of this insulation out the way, go back upstairs and push down our fish tape, and you know, wish ourselves luck trying to get the wire through. So I'm gonna go back to the attic and start working on it. All right guys, so we were up in the attic. We pushed our fish tape down through the hole we had drilled up there. And we got extremely lucky on the first shot, and the fish tape came out right through where we needed to be. I'm gonna push this back up just as much as we need here. We don't need all of this to come through, so we'll push this back up. We'll let it sit about there. I'm gonna go back up into the attic, tape our wire that we need to pull down through, tape it onto our fish tape, and pull our wire down, and then go up into the attic one more time and pull our fish tape back through, and then we'll be back down here to start on the wiring of the new outlet. Back in the attic, you see our fish tape we got down there, going down through the hole where we need the wire to be fed down through. So I'm gonna take the end of my wire here, tape it to my fish tape so we can go ahead and pull it down through where we want our new outlet. All right, let's get that done. All right, so we use some electrical tape and tape our wire onto our fish tape. We're gonna feed it down through the hole we drilled and make sure everything is free, so when we pull from downstairs we don't get caught up on anything. Looks like we're good. So we're gonna head back down, pull this wire through, come back up to the attic one more time, and retrieve our fish tape, and we'll be working from in the garage for the rest of the time, hopefully. Unless we have an issue when we get to the side where we pushed our wire down for the panel side. So, all right, heading back down. Gonna go ahead and start pulling our fish tape down to retrieve to get our wire down. Looks like we're caught up on something, so. If I can put this phone down, try to record. All right, so we're back on this side for now. So we're gonna get this side wired up. I pulled my wire down, you know, pulling down any excess, leaving us, you know, just a good bit in the attic in case, you know, whatever, we can move it around just a little bit. So we're gonna get our wire cut here, get it inserted in our box, and put our new outlet in. So we got our new outlet in, yep, all done on this side. So then we're gonna go over here. So before I head back into the attic, trying to minimize the number of times I have to go back and forth. It'd be nice if I had a hand on this job. It's to eliminate going back and forth. But we're gonna take this panel off this breaker box and take the cover off and see what we have with the wire that we pushed down from the attic. Hopefully it's where we need it to be. Let's see. All right, so we got our panel cover off. And of course, you see what we have here. So the wire I pushed down is somewhere probably in this area. So I think what I'm gonna do is to cut this sheetrock out, cut a nice rectangle out there. Find where my wire is and probably feed it through with the rest of these wires here. Yeah, cutting the sheetrock, no big deal. Hey, we can fix that too. So just gotta be real careful here. Here's the main breaker. We're gonna shut that off while we work in this panel. Be safe. And yeah, just a disclaimer, I am not a certified electrician. So yeah, guys, I'll be advised, if you don't feel comfortable doing this type of work, then you know, you hire someone to do it for you. And so our new breaker, we're gonna be putting in a new, I believe we got a 20 amp breaker. Let's see what we got here. I forget. Yeah, so we got a 20 amp breaker. I think that's what they require for this machine is a dedicated 20 amp circuit. So we're gonna get that put in. We got a nice spot right here that we can pop this breaker in. So yeah, I'm gonna get to cutting this out and feeding our new wire through. And all right, so y'all can see where I made a cutout here to give us access. So we can see where our wire is coming down here. Oh, might as well go ahead and take that out. All right, no big deal, we'll fix that. Yep, and we're gonna feed this through where the bunch of other wires are coming down. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get that down and set. We got the main breaker off here. You know, still need to be careful as we work in here, but we'll go ahead and get this part of it done. All right, so y'all can see I was able to make a little space in those bundled wires and pull our wire through here. I pulled it down long enough to get to where we're gonna insert our new 20 amp breaker here. So now it's just to cut our wire jacket up to about this point. Our ground wire, we're gonna keep it nice and neat with the other ground and connect it somewhere in here. And our white neutral wire, we're gonna try to keep it with all the rest of the wires and connect it here. And then the black hot wire we're gonna connect to our new breaker that's gonna be installed right here. So here we go. All right guys, so we got our new breaker in. Our new breaker is right here. We'll go ahead and turn on the main breaker and then turn on our newly installed breaker and see what we got. So up here where I had to cut this opening, I'm gonna temporarily install the sheetrock back in place, but I think I'm gonna go with a access panel for any kind of future work that needs to be done there. So I'm gonna measure that out and order access panel on Amazon and install that at a later date. So I'm gonna get this back on and then we're gonna see what we got. All right, we got our main breaker turned back on. We got our newly installed breaker turned on. So we're gonna go over here and get this bad boy plugged up and see what we got. This power cord plugged in here. And here we go. That's plugged up. And voila, there we go. Job complete. We got power to this freeze dryer. And that's a wrap. We're gonna get things cleaned up, wrapped up, and that'll be it for this one. Thanks, guys.